What is up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the police cells. Being in the police cells, the worst place in the world. Now, it's absolutely horrible in the police cells, and I've spent a long time over the years, because I was a drug addict, I was getting arrested all the time. And it got to the point where everybody in there knew me. So, I'm going to talk about a couple instances where I was in the police cells, and yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So, the police cells are the worst place in the world. They are absolutely fucking horrible. I mean, they're a lot better now. They're a lot cleaner. They've been painted and done out. But it's still crap in there. You lose track of everything. It's lonely. It's cold. And if you're detoxing from heroin, it's like 100 times worse, because the best thing to do when you get in there is go to sleep, but you can't if you're detoxing. So, yeah, the police cells are horrible. And back in the 90s, there was a lot worse, because there was like a dirty, like a yellow stained walls, with piss and snot and blood up the walls. And then there was like a tar. It was a weird floor, because they take your shoes off you when you go in. And because you've got shoelaces in your shoes, you can't hang yourself, even though there's nowhere to hang yourself from. There's like a tar floor, and it was like sticky. It was horrible, and there's a real weird smell in those police cells. I can't explain it. It's just, I can't explain it. It's like trying to explain a colour. You can't do it. But it gets all of your clothes, and it seeps into your pores. You can smell it every time you get locked up. Now, when I was a drug addict, I was always getting in trouble, always getting arrested, because that's what drugs do. They turn you into a thief. And like, an average arrest for me would be like, get caught 1 p.m, they'll keep you all night, interview you first thing in the morning, miss court, keep me for the next available court. If I'm lucky, I'd get in that next afternoon, but if not, it'd be the next morning. And it just seems like it lasts forever. So an average arrest for me would be like 2 days in the cells. And if you double the amount of times I've been arrested, it's close to a year I've spent in those fucking police cells. And there was one time when they came and got me, and it was for an armed robbery. Now, you know me, I'm not violent at all. I don't do armed robberies. There was a shoplifter, and I used to nick laptops and stuff like that, which I'm not condoning, but that was my life back then. And they pulled me in for an armed robbery. They surrounded my mum's house with the armed response. And it was crazy, and they had 2 witnesses that put me there. A woman behind the till, and the guy had a balaclava. His description was 5'2", stocky with an aggressive nature. And I'm like 6'4", skinny and I'm laid back as hell. But they had 2 witnesses that put me there. The woman behind the till said that this guy in a balaclava was me, because she could tell by my voice. And there was another woman outside who said that she was arguing with me. I took my balaclava off and she saw it was me. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, why are they saying that? I mean, they found out who it was. It was like a 15-year-old kid. But, they arrested me for it. And they took me in the cells, and there was 2 women. And as they were interviewing me, and I'm denying it, and they're not believing me, but when I first got in there, he says, what you done to the death sergeant? I says, what you on about? He says, he fucking don't like you. He's got it in for you. He's like a pit bull with a rag. I says, fucking, I don't know. But he probably didn't like me. And they interviewed me. I denied it all. And they went up. They says, right, well, I says, well, what's happening then? You're going to bail me? He says, we can't bail you because you've got no address. I says, I've got an address. I've got my mum's house. I give him a number. They says, she's not answering. She's not in, so we can't verify it. And I says, I know she would answer the phone if they rang, because she's always in at this time. So he was trying to stitch me up. So anyway, I started thinking outside the box, and they took me around to do my fingerprints and photo. They'd take your mug shot. In Donny, there was 2 different rooms. One room would have a camera in. The other would have like fingerprint paper, because they didn't have computers back then. They used black ink. They put it all over your hands and take your fingerprints. And they took my photo and left me in this room with a phone and a camera, and he was getting the ink ready. So I knew back then, it wasn't universally known back then, but you pick things up. I knew if I picked that phone up and pressed the number 9, it would give me an outside line. So I thought, I'll fucking ring my mum up. So I've got on the phone, and I rang my mum, and I says, oh, and I was whispering and I says, have police phoned you? And she says, no. I says, the fucking shady cunts. I says, they're telling me that they've rang you and you're not answering, you're not in, so I can't get bail. And she says, well, no one's rang me. I says, well, do me a favour, ring the police station, keep ringing until you get in touch with them and tell them I can stay at yours for a bail address. And she says, all right, then we'll do that. So anyway, a couple of hours passed. They've took me up to the desk, and the desk sergeant says, right, you're getting bailed, your mother's rang to the police station. And I was like, yes. So I had a big old cheesy grin on my face, and he was gutted. He could see, you could hear it in his voice. He was like, you're getting bailed. I didn't want to bail you. And I'm like, yes, fuck you, you prick. So, sometimes you've got to think outside the box, just like I did on that one. And they caught the guy who did it, he was only a 15-year-old kid. But still, I just couldn't believe it. I felt so powerless because there's these people saying I did it. I nearly got beat up over it. It was really bad, and I don't know why they lied about it, but anyway, it's done now. And I noticed these days, people are getting locked up now. This is how bad it is in this country. People are getting locked up for saying mean things or, putting mean things on Facebook, memes and jokes. And they're getting locked up for it. And look, I understand if you're like threatening mosques or things like that, you can't do that. That is threats to kill. And back when I was getting in trouble, that was a bad charge. That was one of my first charges, was threats to kill. And it was when I was out, I was drunk as hell, and I was arguing with two blokes, and we got into it, and I was shouting, I'll fucking kill you, prick, because I was drunk, I didn't really mean it. But they charged me, they arrested me for threats to kill. And I remember in the interview, the copper said to me, I went not guilty, I denied it all. I said, I didn't say that. And after the interview, the copper said to me, he said, that threats to kill is a bad charge. He says, if you'd have got done for that, then you'd have gone straight to Doncaster. You'd have been on next bus straight to Donny. So threats to kill is actually a bad charge, so you can't go around threatening like Muslims and things like that because it's threats to kill, that's always been a bad charge. But people are getting locked up now for, just posting memes, and I just can't understand that, but that's the state of the country's in now. But anyway, that's just a little story about the police cells. The police cells are horrible, miserable, boring places. I would always recommend staying well away from crime because you do not want to be in a police cell, especially for a 3-day local when you miss court on a Saturday. The courts are shut on a Sunday, so then they keep you till Monday. That is the longest weekend ever. But anyway, if you like the video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Bonjour.